All right, we got a bunch more things to talk about. Project Morpheus, it was called before. It's been renamed Sony VR, and today we got a bunch more information about games for it, but not necessarily the big, crazy reveal of date or price we were looking forward to. Peter, you're our VR person du jour. What did you think about what Sony showed off today?
I think they're taking some smart moves when it comes with the initial offerings because, kind of beating a dead horse here, but games you make for VR are best when they're made for VR from the start. And a lot of that has to do with sort of mimicking the real world in the game. So you're sitting in a chair. It's the same as sitting in a cockpit or sitting in a car. So to have Gran Turismo Sport announced for VR makes a lot of sense. They showed that other game, which was sort of like a, you wore those suits and it was like a sport.
Rigs?
Rigs, yeah.
Goal! Yeah, esports, motherfucker.
But and then they showed off stuff like Valkyrie again, just in a short little trailer. That game looks so promising, and I've played it, loved it. And I think a lot. Yeah, there we go. So like a lot of these little experiences are going to be really good. They also showed off the
Battlezone.
Battlezone, which is it's taking like an old like vector-based PC game and bringing that, which was kind of nice for me because I used to play that a lot as a kid.
And Robinson the Journey.
Robinson the Journey, which is it kind of looked like Destiny with that little character floating around with you.
Or Portal.
Or Portal 2.
Or
yeah,
Halo
I guess
3.
you're right. Yeah.
But I mean, we also got Until Dawn and Tekken and
Tekken's a weird one.
I'm really curious how Tekken is going to work in virtual reality.
Yeah, what if they did like a first-person fighting? That'd be
and you put on a haptic vest, and so you have to feel it when you get punched.
Maybe too optimistic, but I mean, I think that will be an interesting experiment, and it's a safe experiment because it's so clearly a gimmick that they're not trying to say, oh, this is this grand new VR experience. It's like it's Tekken. Do you want to try it in VR?
Whereas I wonder what Crytek are doing, because presumably they want to, they're engine salesmen at this stage more than anything else, so presumably they want to be able to show off that, hey, also our engine can do VR stuff out the box. Yeah,
they've been working, I believe with NVIDIA for a while to have the hardware work with their engine really well. But back at E3 I tried a demo where you are sort of scaling a cliff, and you crane your neck up as you would when you're climbing a cliff, and eventually you have to look down because things fall, and I believe I was going to get eggs from a dinosaur mother or something like that. It was a fine little demo. I'm curious to see what this whole experience is going to be, like how big they're going to make it. Because these experiences, especially when it's trying to be immersive, have to be, so everything has to be considered for and taken into account in terms of the environment and the atmosphere. To make a full game that does all those little things, to make it work well in VR, it's going to be expensive. So maybe Robinson will just be sort of like a small demo that will prove to other companies, use our tech.
But isn't that going to be the problem if we keep getting these small demos, like Until Dawn, Rush of Blood? Like I get why they're dipping back, because I guess that name has a surprising amount of cachet actually at this stage. It was well received. But isn't that kind of a problem? Like we're still talking about these little side project games?
No, it's not a problem at all. VR is so young. I mean, look back to any game console in the 70s and 80s and look at those tiny games and say, isn't it a problem that we only have Pong? Isn't this where's the bigger this tech will mature over time. People's efficiency to develop for VR will improve over time. So we're at the early stage. I don't think this is a problem. They need to get small things in consumers' hands because people will not be ready to do a 50-hour game in VR
straight away
right at the bat.
Well, even a 5-hour game. Like I want an experience that I can sit and I can get through the entirety and then maybe share it with a friend. And that's the other thing that's important is like VR, us talking about it and just seeing videos of it doesn't sell it. You have to try it. And if you have an experience that's like, oh yeah, I got for the first 5 minutes of this game, I'm not sure how much better it's gonna be. Whereas here's a self-contained 5-minute experience. That's perfect.
Yeah, like the Danny's demo at Gamescom when we did the Oculus Touch.
Oh yeah, completely.
The thing. I mean, just watching your reactions in that, it was like before I didn't know how excited you were, but when you're in it, it was like no question, he's loving this right now. And that's just to say, things like the walk right here.
This is a great way to get people who wouldn't play games as well to sort of have an experience with VR and be able and understand its power.
Yeah, I mean, at least maybe not games in the traditional sense where we think of complex hardcore games, but interactive media where you are, putting yourself into the experience in one way or another.
Mike, do you think you would rather do this or be put in a virtual reality pit of snakes?
Oh my God, neither. Heights and snakes.
That's not how choices work.
The heights. I am terrified of heights, but snakes are worse. But yeah, that is an experience I'd probably want to try. I don't know how long I'd last before
Yeah.
my legs start shaking uncontrollably. I get secondhand fear of heights too, just seeing someone else.
Oh, me too. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
bad.
awful.
Like
Yeah.
the balconies at like really big theaters, I can't see someone sitting next to the edge, and I just want to grab them and hold on to them.
I used to have a big 90-inch projection screen, and I played Assassin's Creed 1, and my dad walked up, saw it, and went, nope, and turned around.
Yeah.
Straight back down again. Justin, final point on VR, though. Do you think if we didn't see a release date and a price today, we're going to have to see the PlayStation experience, or maybe will they wait till 2016?
We're seeing so many games, and that means that they're close to market. Like they're showing an experience that you're going to be able to purchase soon. So we have to have a release date and a price. And I think we're going to hear that at PlayStation Experience. I think one of the reasons that they're holding off is because it's going to be really fucking expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, Oculus, they've already said like, no, we're not going to be able to hit that same dev kit price point. When you look at the HoloLens, which is a very different experience, a very self-contained thing. That's several thousand or close to $10,000.
HoloLens is also way off.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, the price that they're quoting for that now is not anything that we should consider.
But Sony's other VR experiences, like their other wraparound headset, that's over $1,000.
That was for a market that misunderstood where technology is right now. That was for, I'm a rich person, I'm going to buy a $1,200 headset
Great.
that lets me see a 70-inch screen
That's
outside
like their
my glasses.
high-end television kind of stuff. where
Yeah,
just
it's got that. Sony is that is a whole different section of Sony that made that. It's just luxury bullshit. This is
the luxury bullshit
yeah.
department.
This is going to be they're targeting mass market stuff with this. So
They're targeting mass market, but they have said that this is basically a standalone console. This is its own standalone experience. And I mean, not in the sense that you can only buy this. You'll still need a PlayStation 4.
Right.
But that they're not going to target this as like, here's a $50 accessory. This is
No,
going
of
to be
course. No, but the hardware could be subsidized by the game sales, right? The same way that they sold PlayStation 3 at a loss to begin with. Wasn't a great idea, but that was down to manufacturing issues, which complicated the whole scenario. Here, if they can say, look, we have an install base, we're going to be releasing games for it, people seem to be liking it, they're going to be okay taking a bit of a loss if they can recoup that money with software.
It's going to be
I
interesting.
think they're going to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what price point they land at, because it's been 9 years since E3 2006 and we still haven't stopped talking about it. But yeah, let us know what you think of Sony VR, what they showed off at Paris Games Week, and what price point you'd be willing to stretch to get in on the VR revolution. Let us know in the comment box below.